Okay, hello, welcome to presentation of ZMINA rebuilding program results. My name is Mykhailo Glubokyi. I'm development director of IZOLYATSIA Foundation, and I will start with a short technical introduction. So we are going to have presentation as a Zoom webinar today. So our guests and attendees won't be able to ask questions by voice. But if you have questions or comments, you can use Q&A section of Zoom webinar or comment section in YouTube stream. We will try to answer some of the questions depending on complications of the questions and the time that we have in our disposal. This presentation is designed to take around 1.5 hours, and we're going to record this. So after the event is over, we will send all those who registered links to the recording if you are interested, or if you are not able to attend till the end of the event. One more important notice that if you're in Ukraine, please make sure that you are in safe space. And in case if there is an air raid alert, you will be able to hide in safe space and you will be in no danger. So thank you so much all for joining today, and I'm transferring this microphone to Oksana Sarzhevska-Kravchenko, who is the director of ZMINA Foundation, to tell us a little bit about the program and what we are about to see today.
Thank you, Misha. Welcome, everyone. As we conclude the ZMINA rebuilding, we are happy to see you at this presentation today to follow the program results. ZMINA rebuilding is a sub-granting scheme programmed to support development of Ukrainian culture and creative sectors and to showcase its capacities in collaboration with organizations from other Creative Europe countries. ZMINA rebuilding is continuation of our former project ZMINA 2.0 that was launched at the start of full-scale Russian invasion. And the program was supported by the delegation of the European Union to Ukraine and was mostly focused on emergency assistance, but also provided support to the Ukrainian culture and creative sector to help the local population in country adapt the new harsh realities and use culture methods to integrate internally displaced people, document the resilience of the Ukrainian community, and renew culture life amidst the war. In 2023, we launched a new program, ZMINA Rebuilding, supported by a special call from European Commission to support Ukrainian displaced people and Ukrainian culture and creative sectors. Our partners for this project are Malý Berlín and Trans-Europe Hall, one of the oldest network of culture centers. ZMINA Rebuilding was conceived as a platform to develop new vision for Ukrainians' local reconstruction, while also sharing these ideas and perspectives with organizations and audiences across Creative Europe countries. Altogether, we reached outstanding results that supported strong innovations across Ukraine and built partnership and projects that reached over 29,000 participants in 48 projects in 20 countries. For all of this, we funded more than 1.4 million euro, only for sub-grants. Projects also attract 580 stakeholders and 668 special experts to ensure that there is a possibility of continuation with local support and partnerships. Some more words about applications, key project decisions, and team. Applications were assessed by an independent team of evaluators. We had 25 international experts and 26 experts from Ukraine. Each application for international collaboration project was assessed by 4 evaluators, and each application for national projects was assessed by 2 evaluators. Key project decisions were made by steering committee, which consists of 1 international expert, 1 expert from Ukrainian culture scene, and 1 representative of each consortium members. So from IZOLYATSIA, Malý Berlín, and Trans-Europe Hall. About ZMINA rebuilding team, because this is important, and 2 years project long, we worked with Polina Nyukhina, Elizaveta Chernova, Kateryna Stets, Anastasiia Rozenberh, Bohdana Nosenok, Artem Taranovsky, Irina Kovalova, Mykhailo Glubokyi, and me involved from IZOLYATSIA side. From our partners Malý Berlín, it was Michal Klembara, Petra Adamkova, Sonia Yakubov, and Anna Sidych. And for Trans-Europe Hall, it was Fairuz Tamimi, Femi Adeni, Olga Zaporozhets, Barbara Ella, and Miki Renders. And now the most important to going on, today we want to share results of the program, talk about the capacity building and matchmaking efforts we had made to make projects even stronger, share key figures, present some of the projects and technical innovations behind ZMINA rebuilding. And first, Polina Nyukhina, our project lead, will explain how ZMINA rebuilding team handles the data in the program.
Yes, Oksana, thank you for passing me the floor. I believe you all hear me well, and today I'm glad to share with you all challenging but a very exciting part of ZMINA rebuilding, our innovations. Unfortunately, I have only 5 minutes for my speech, so I won't have time to show you our innovations and how the data will flow. But if you are interested, please let us know, and we will be happy to answer all your questions. Well, managing a program like ZMINA rebuilding is a long journey that required smart and flexible tools to stay on top of large volume of data, people, and processes. While managing ZMINA rebuilding sub-granting cycle, we dealt with a lot of data, like applications, evaluation reports, reports from sub-grantees, reports from the events, documents, communication materials, etc., etc. And to keep everything simple and organized, we used the IZOLYATSIA platform, an all-in-one online system that covered the whole process from application to final reporting. Applicants got automatic updates at every stage of their process, whether their application was under consideration, passed the technical check, or was approved. But the platform was not just about application process, it also handled project final narrative reports, approvals of communication materials, and even tracked the events happening across the program. By having this everything data in one place, we not only cut down the extra tools, but we avoided endless emails, as you know is a part of such projects, and made the whole our process faster, more transparent, and easier to manage. Our next plan is to move all the monitoring process for us and for our subgrantees to this platform. Because in ZMINA rebuilding, we track the monitoring internally via Slack application, as you could see in a point 2, monitoring chatbot for real-time data collection and communication tool. Since we already used Slack for our internal communication, we built a chatbot right inside Slack to help us with all monitoring tracking. This chatbot reminded our operational teams to submit their monthly data, and also it tracked who submitted what, when, and where. And it's important, if you know what I mean. This way, project management team and me personally could easily follow the flow of information, spot any problems, and react quickly based on real-time data. And it's very important. Teams could also log challenges and questions directly in the chatbot, which helped us to keep everything clear and solve issues faster than before. Overall, this chatbot really improved how we communicated and sped up our monitoring process. That is why our next step, we planned to integrate this tool onto our online platform, as I mentioned before. The next challenge, which we had tried to cope with, were tracking the reports from 84 projects across 4 overlapping calls. To do this, we create a special Slack channel just to manage the report approval process, because at least 3 team members were involved in different approval stage for each project. So sub-grant project, I mean. So having all updates in one space was super helpful for us. This channel became our go-to space for track every step, spotting issues and finding important information quickly, especially during the busy reporting periods. We would have loved to add our sub-grantees to this Slack space as well, but unfortunately not all of them are very common with Slack application. That is why we are playing test moving this channel for the report approval process into our online platform in future, to make this process easier for everyone, and again avoid 1,000 and tons of emails during the monitoring and narrative reports approving process. And the last but not the least, automated visualization. We set up a simple Excel system to collect and structure data from all sub-grantees reports. Precisely, we collect demographic data from sub-grantees events, impact area of their efforts, the level of community engagement during their projects, etc., etc. And this allowed us to automatically create visuals that showed results clearly and divide these results by call or by wave, whether national or international, and across the entire program. This system is flexible and scalable, so I believe that we can easily adjust it for our future project without a lot of extra work. So, by combining a centralized online platform, a custom Slack chatbot, a reporting coordination channel, and automated data visualization, we built a system that worked with us, not against. These tools help us to stay transparent, make faster decisions, and keep the entire sub-granting process organized and easy to manage. And as we plan to move forward, of course, we are already thinking about how to improve this system to make it even more inclusive and sustainable in the long run. So I think it's all from my side, and let me pass the floor to Elizaveta Chernova, ZMINA Rebuilding Projects Coordination.
Thank you, Polina. It is a pleasure to present the achievements of a vital component of the ZMINA Rebuilding Project, our comprehensive information and support system. This initiative, which covered call presentation events, capacity building trainings, and online support, was strategically designed to take it to the next level, really improve the capacity of Ukrainian arts and culture organization to develop and implement successful projects and act effectively on the international stage. A key evidence or proof of this focused effort is the establishment of 26 new international partnerships, laying a strong foundation for future collaboration. To achieve this, we implemented a multifaceted approach, called presentation events and proposal writing workshops. During 2023-2024, we launched 4 calls for proposals to empower potential subgrantees. IZOLYATSIA, in collaboration with local multipliers, Gem Factory Art Center Lviv and DCCC Dnipro, organized 10 offline information sessions in Kyiv, Lviv, and Dnipro. In total, 493 individuals actively participated in these events. These sessions combine detailed explanation of funding guidelines and application procedure with practical proposal writing workshops. We addressed crucial topics such as working with temporary occupied territories, copyright rules, partnership tips, grant reporting condition, and communication strategy. As a direct result of this engagement, 92% of participants demonstrated a positive growth in their skill sets during self-assessment after each workshop. We also extended our reach with 2 targeted online presentations in English for applicants from Central and Eastern Europe, ensuring broad accessibility. Matchmaking session, recognizing the demand for international collaboration, we proactively organized 3 dedicated online matchmaking sessions. These virtual spaces provided a platform for Ukrainian and Creative Europe organizations to connect, present their work, and explore potential partnerships. These events saw the active participation of 109 individuals and directly contributed to the 26 new international collaboration I will highlight it at the beginning. And next, capacity building video. Trans-Europe and IZOLYATSIA co-produced 6 targeted capacity building videos with experts from the tech network. These videos covering essential topics like visibility, internationalization, and environmental sustainability were optimized with Ukrainian subtitles for maximum accessibility. This is recorded trainings were showcased during our events, and we provided a convenient QR code for participants to access the complete recording at their leisure. These videos gathered significant interest, reaching over 9,000 views and extending our capacity building impact beyond our live session. Furthermore, in direct response to valuable feedback received after our call presentation events and proposal writing workshops, we delivered an additional series of live online capacity building trainings tailored to the Ukrainian audience demand. This interactive session focused on technical application assessment, financial issues, and project management. This is targeted training, so strong engagement with 70 individuals actively participating and deepening their expertise. Online support, next slide, please. Online support. We established a dedicated online support system throughout each call. This included a bilingual Ukrainian and English language email addresses, handling 477 inquiries and 30 weekly Zoom consultations, providing real-time assistance and personalized guidance from project's team to applicants. Furthermore, we developed and published 3 comprehensive, frequently asked questions, documents, proactively addressing common questions, and streamlining the application process. And grant acceptance workshop to ensure a smooth and successful grant implementation process. We conducted 4 grant acceptance workshop for each funding call, bringing together 122 participants. Importantly, we expanded invitations to the lead organization and their partner organization for our international calls. The primary goal of this workshop was to equip our grantees with the essential knowledge and tools for effective project implementation. We aim to clarify crucial aspects such as efficient communication with the IZOLYATSIA team, address key organizational and legal matters, and clearly explain the reporting requirements throughout the project life cycle. Additionally, these interactive sessions provided a valuable platform for participants to ask questions and receive direct answers regarding the project implementation. In the conclusions, the capacity building component of ZMINA rebuilding really helped empower Ukrainian cultural organizations and artists, built important international connection, and played a big role in the success and visibility of the ZMINA rebuilding program. Thank you. I give the floor to the sub-guarantor from the National Wave, Neformat, Irina Denisuk.
Irina, we can't hear you, unfortunately.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Sorry, it's something went wrong. We checked it before. So, yeah. I'm Irina. I represent Neformat Media. We mostly write about Ukrainian underground music, and our project was a big music conference held in Kyiv. Although it was a hybrid format, it had both offline and online parts. And the offline part was the main because it gathered alive in Kyiv like 60 plus participants who were mostly the stakeholders from the music communities, different music professionals like managers, musicians, lawyers, and people who generally decide the future of the music industry in Ukraine. And it was not the hardest task to succeed because our music conference is kind of unique project for some reason, because in 2023 we had the first conference held also thanks to the support of the ZMINA project, and it was the only offline music conference in Ukraine that year. And in 2024 we had something like 2 or 3 music offline conferences, and ours was the first in the year, so it had quite an attention. And also we had the online part. We had something like 100 registered participants also who represented the stakeholders from the music industry. And we also had the live stream, which gathered something like 800 views. And then we also we recorded all the conference. We created 4 videos, and generally, thanks to the targeted ads, we generated 30,000 plus views for them. So everyone had access to the results of this conference. It was as open as possible. Next slide, please. The theme of our conference was recovery, and we explored it through 3 discussions and 1 lecture. And the first discussion was about the metal music industry, which is currently forming in Ukraine. That is quite interesting because it is something new we never had in Ukraine as opposed to USA or Great Britain or other European countries. Then we also, and it was like an institutional recovery. Then we discovered the recovery of the event industry, mostly about charity events, because the event industry struggled due to COVID, and then we had the full-scale war started, and these people do something unimaginable. They even held festivals during the war, so we talked about it, and it was event recovery. And also we had a discussion about music as a tool for inner recovery. So it was the best part of our conference, if you believe to the feedback we got. And we didn't expect it, to be honest, but it was quite an interesting topic to discover. And we got a very good results because it turned out that both musicians and listeners wanted to talk about the things that music brings them, not only about the industry part where they need to work and achieve something, but about music as something bigger. And we also had a lecture on the intellectual property. It was also important because many musicians till this time, they act in shades, as we tell it, so they are not registered officially, and their intellectual property is often not, it's not protected, and it doesn't bring them money. It can bring them and it can be a source for economical recovery for the music industry. So I think that we got to this topic of recovery from many different aspects, and it was we got very good feedback from the participants, and we managed to gather an online database for contacts of our participants, and also from the contacts we personally could recommend. And also we had a private chat where all these people could network. So not also they networked on the offline event, but also they could network and go on with their deals online. So next slide, please. Yes, and the unexpected success was that we actually managed to get the attention from the underground or alternative music scene, because they are often not interested in the development and like the independent indie scene or pop scene. But this time they participated, and actually it's something we wanted to achieve. We wanted to achieve from the first conference. And I see that I have low time, so just a small insight: the details matter. People like to be well fed. Second year in a row, we get the feedback that people like that there is plenty of food. They mustn't think about it, and it helps networking because they stay at the event and they are pleased. And also this time we had a high quality merch. We had shoppers and we had printed booklets, and it also was very helpful because people liked to take something with them to remind them about this event. So I would recommend everyone to have your people well fed and to give them some gifts. It works really cool. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Irina. Hello, everyone. My name is Kateryna Stets, and I'm truly happy to be part of this project as a subgrant manager for National Waves of ZMINA Rebuilding Program. And I would like to emphasize that ZMINA Rebuilding is a subgrant program that has become the logical continuation of ZMINA 2.0 program in the field of cultural support. And on the slide, you can see the key difference between these two programs. As follows, as Oksana told previously, ZMINA 2.0 combined two main directions. First of all, it was providing urgent assistance to communities affected by the war. And second one is supporting cultural initiatives aimed at the recovery of social and cultural life in Ukraine. In ZMINA 2.0, 2 open calls were conducted and 71 cultural projects were supported, with the total amount of funding reaching around 260,000 euro. Compared to this, ZMINA Rebuilding has one main goal: support project by Ukrainian artists and cultural organizations in creating and exhibiting at national and international level different practices on the topic of reconstruction. This program included 4 open calls. 2 open calls was for national grants, just for Ukrainian applicants, and all implementation process was inside of Ukraine, and 2 for international projects involving partners from Creative Europe countries. As a result, within the framework of ZMINA rebuilding, 48 projects were supported with a total funding amount of 1.4 million euros. Next slide shows us more about the national waves of ZMINA rebuilding. Within the 2 national waves, 22 projects were implemented with the participation of 24 partner organizations. As can be seen from the slide, the projects covered 18 regions of Ukraine. About 30% of projects included an impact on more than 1 region. And of course, online event could attract participants from all over the world without any limits. For example, see a film screening or some education program, which online access available to participants worldwide. And very important that 111 public events were held within the framework of National Wave. And all of this event took place within the country, I mean, inside of Ukraine. And most of the events were held in offline format. This shows that despite the high risk of danger in our country, the Ukrainian people are really highly willing to participate in cultural events, support and assist in the rebuilding of culture. Under the program condition, applicants could be various types of organizations. On this slide, you can see the diversity of applicant types in national waves where in the majority non-government organization. Also, there were individual entrepreneur or artists, theatres, cultural associations, municipal institutions, charity organizations, etc. I would like to add that taking into account the requirement of the program, over 90% of implemented national wave projects actively involved specialists during the implementation. For example, there were representatives of local authority, architects, urban planners, etc. Among 22 national wave projects, we notice a wide range of reconstruction practices. You can see on this slide the topic of the projects were truly diverse. There were preservation and digitalization of cultural heritage, which is really important task for the cultural sector in times of war. Discussion about the development of the music industry, what you had from the previous speaker, the occupied communities planning and design, documenting and filmmaking warm time, generation dialogue about the history and ecological impact of war, and other practices. Generally, ZMINA rebuilding program has demonstrated the effectiveness of cultural interventions as an integral part of Ukrainian recovery process. Through actively community involvement and multi-sectoral approach, the project not only contributed to the preservation of cultural identity, but also laid the groundwork for sustainable development of community in the future. Thank you for attention, and I'm ready to give the floor to one of successful applicants of the first national wave of ZMINA rebuilding, Olha Shulha, head of NGO ProProLab.
Hello. Hello, yes, my name is Helena, and I lead the ProProLab team and the Project Plan Act. We are an educational organization, and one of our goals is to engage high school students in the recovery and development of their communities. We often turn to creative practice when we need to increase our impact, and this project is a prime example. Our experience shows that teenagers are ready to actively contribute to community development even while studying at school. However, students often don't have clear understanding of the connections between Ukrainian past, present, and potential future. The reason of this is the imperfection of history studies study programs and the lack of time for practical study of many important topics. We set ourselves a challenge to find a way to help young people form their own dynamic and holistic vision of the country's recovery. Next slide, please. Yes, and as a result, we formed the idea to encourage students and teachers to engage in interdisciplinary dialogues and resilience and national renewal. Using contemporary history is a foundation and gradually moving toward formatting their own vision. To avoid overloading the school curriculum, we decided to rethink the time that students are forced to spend in school shelters and additionally design these spaces. Next slide, please. Our solution was to combine art and educational practice. We created a series of illustrated stories, posters, highlighting key moments in Ukrainians' recent history. We invited 14 well-known Ukrainian illustrators to collaborate on the work. We also developed a set of guidelines for teachers to use the posters. This is a list of major events, the impact on the development of the country, ideas for discussions, and ideas for projects to implement in schools or in communities. We held a presentation for teachers in Lviv at a local school and an online presentation for over 200 educators across the country. And 100 schools received printed sets of the posters and are using them in shelters when traditional classroom work isn't possible. This allows them to continue learning in a non-formal way. All other schools can freely download high-resolution posters from the project website. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasiia. I'm the grant manager of ZMINA Rebuilding Program. Thank you so much, Helena, for the presentation. And also, my colleague Kateryna has given us a valuable overview of the national waves of the program, and I'll be focusing on the international ones. So, you can see on your screen map, this map demonstrates the ZMINA Rebuilding Progress success and in building connections across the Creative Europe countries. The map visually illustrates the extensive network of project locations, highlighting the program's ability to reach diverse community. The key takeaway here is the strong emphasis on international collaboration, with 26 projects implemented across 2 international waves. These projects involve 64 partner organizations and resulted in over 179 different events. And it's demonstrating the program's significant public engagement. And you know, some of the countries hosted multiple projects. The program's unique country participation underscore its commitment to fostering broad cultural exchange. Ukrainian partners collaborated with international organizations hosting events and exhibitions in cities like Paris, Venice, Copenhagen, Kyiv, Riga, Matera, Tbilisi, Cologne, and more, as you can see on the previous map. By the way, you can also find more detailed information on our website IZOLYATSIA. Together, these initiatives built an impressive cultural bridge across Europe, so to speak, from Tbilisi to Asturias, Helsinki, and Valletta. This is not only amplified diverse cultural voices, but also built a stronger, more interconnected influence of cultures. This international cooperation increases the visibility of Ukrainian artists, cultural productions, and heightens the profile and knowledge of Ukrainian culture and creative organization in other countries. This slide, previous slide, please. Yes, thank you. This slide highlights the remarkable diversity of organizations that ZMINA Rebuilding supported. We worked with a rich ecosystem of cultural actors, each contributing their unique strengths and expertise. From NGOs to established public institutions, creative collectives to performing art groups, the program's inclusive approach ensures that a wide range of cultural initiatives were empowered. And this network of partners was crucial to the program overall success, enabling it to address diverse needs and foster innovation across the cultural sector. And next slide showcases the diverse range of project types supported by the ZMINA Rebuilding project's international component. As you can see, the program's funding was allocated across various artistic disciplines and cultural practices. Film festivals, art exhibitions, and cultural residences were prominent. But the program also supported initiatives focused on exhibitions, performative arts, music, and community development. This variety demonstrates ZMINA's commitment to a holistic approach to cultural development, recognizing the importance of both artistic expressions and social impact. And my final slide, yes, summarize the overall impact areas of the ZMINA Rebuilding program, including both national and international initiatives. The program's influence extends across a wide range of impact areas, demonstrating its comprehensive approach to cultural development. Notably, urban planning and traditional arts and crafts received significant support, as you see, highlighting the program's commitment to both contemporary challenges and cultural heritage. Theater, ecology, cinema, youth engagement, and music also play key roles, actually. Even digitalization, while represented by fewer projects, signified the program's forward-thinking approach. And in conclusion, ZMINA Rebuilding has left a powerful legacy, fostering collaborations, building resilience, and contributing to a more dynamic and interconnected cultural future. And to tell the truth, we are so proud of that. Each project and result of each project are so important for us. And now I'd like to give the floor to one of our sub-grantees who has kindly agreed to share the experience with us of participation in the ZMINA Rebuilding program. The project Sunlight Over Borders were implemented in collaboration Cultural Foundation, Art Media, and FINA UA organizations. Please welcome.
Hello. Nice to present and to be here. My name is Anna Iacob, and I am the president of Art Media Foundation, and next to me is my colleague and friend Jane, who is the president and the representative of FINA UA Association. And our project Sunlight Over Borders has been not just a project but a journey, a cultural journey between two different cultures that finally had the chance to meet and in an artistic approach, and to develop not only a co-production, theater co-production, but also to start discussions, debates, created a roundtable on rebuilding in the community, and also we could share all the results that we had with young audiences. So basically what we try to do is through theater to present the reality of Ukrainian war. And I would like to ask my colleague to present a high visibility event that we worked on last year. that was a theater co-production.
And can you please switch on to the next slide? So yeah, the main and the core event of our Sunlight Over Border project was actually creating a theater performance called Blogpost. Blogpost is the first play performance that was created in Ukraine, firstly by National Drama Theater of Zaporozhets in 2022 by Anton Nesmianov, Alexander Stepantsov, and Olena Drobna, who are the team of the National Drama Theater of Zaporozhets, and they created it in May 2022. So we took this play, this performance, we brought the Ukrainian professional team here to Timișoara, to Romania, where we are now. And by means of the mostly master students of West University of Timișoara, of Faculty of Arts and Theater, we translated this performance to Romanian language, and with the help of Romanian-Ukrainian translator, who is the member of Ukrainian community here in Timișoara, we created the theater co-production that was a production between a huge work and nice work and interesting between the Ukrainian theater professional team and Ukrainian and Romanian students, theater students. The performances were shown in Timișoara in German National Theater on 5th and 6th of November. So the Ukrainian team worked and lived here for 1.5 months. And it was of a very high popularity among Romanian audience and also among Ukrainians. For Ukrainians, it was, let's say, less interesting because they know what it is. And for Romanian people, it was very interesting to live through the Blogpost performance because the plot is very ordinary. It's about a small imaginary frontline city where the night of the beginning of the full-scale invasion face grandfather and grandson on a small checkpoint, and they are passed by very different, let's say, behavior roles of personalities who are living or staying or want to fight. So by the means of this plot, it gives any person from any audience from any country in their language, in our case in Romanian language, understanding, very clear and natural understanding of what you feel at the beginning at night on the full-scale invasion. And again, also in frames of our project, we also had a round table on the topic of rebuilding with the representatives of authorities, municipality, representative of Ukrainian NGOs and Ukrainian embassy in Romania. And also we had a series of debates that were also mostly about the topic of narratives of hope, sharing the personal stories, how theater was reformed in Ukraine after the beginning of the full-scale invasion, and what is the role of the theater for today, healing role of the theater in frames of the crises, and how to rebuild the country, the nation, the societies by the means of theater.
Also, the educational dimension of the project was very important for us because Art Media has worked previously with students, but didn't have the chance to work with international artistic team, a full professional international artistic team based on scenographer, author, and director. So for the students here and for all the artists involved and the students that had the chance to work with the international team was a very complex and powerful experience.
And I think next slide, please. So speaking about the results, we had 4 performances, premiere, 1 premiere, and 2 more that covered more than 1,000 audience. We had 3 debates and 1 round table for almost 500 participants. We had workshops by Ukrainian director for Romanian students and also pupils of schools that covered almost 100 young artists. We had a huge amount of social media mentions and press articles. What was very interesting that it was not only in Romania, but of course we covered Ukraine and also Slovenia and Germany. In Ukraine, Ministry of Culture made an article about the project that gave the wave in the media, Ukrainian media. And what is important and main result for today that we just applied for the Romanian Cultural Foundation.
the national financing program of Romania. We are now with the blog post waiting for an answer if we can go on a tour inside Romania with this cultural product, because actually the blog post co-production is a long-living, hopefully, performance in Romania, and maybe it could be also presented on international frames and international stages, theater stages.
And I will add two more things. What I consider important is that we actually created the theater performance in the Romanian language that's showcasing the Ukrainian story of the beginning of the full-scale invasion, that gave this opportunity for local people to feel it much closer for themselves. And finally, association today is situated in Timișoara and having activities here around the Ukrainian community in Timișoara and Ukrainian cultural diplomacy that gave this possibility to have networking and friendship communications with the local organizations and come with such ideas that match perfectly to international grants. And thank you very much for this opportunity. It was really important project, and we hope to continue it. That's it.
Should I continue? I think I should. So my name is Olga Zaporozhets. I'm representing Trans-Europe Hales. I hope you can hear me. Yes, you can.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. So I'm a communication officer at Trans-Europe Hales, which is a member-based network organization, actually one of the most influential, one of the oldest, and one of the biggest cultural networks in Europe. We at Trans-Europe Hales are very happy to be part of that consortium and deliver a ZMINA program together with the Trans-Europe Hales members, IZOLYATSIA and Malý Berlín. In ZMINA, we have been contributing with bits and bytes to different parts, but mainly to capacity building videos. I'll just jump into this in a second, but just to give you a little bit of understanding that Trans-Europe Hales has been operating for more than 40 years. So we started as a network in 1983. We have 175 members in 40 plus countries in Europe and beyond, but mainly in Europe. And we work with leadership teams of the repurposed industrial sites that have some sort of a grassroots culture on the background. We were very happy to join ZMINA and be part of ZMINA as we have many full and associate members in Ukraine, but also Ukraine is a big country and it borders on 7 other countries. We have members in many of those countries, and after the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Russia into Ukraine, many of our members and many of the leadership teams and staff of our members were affected by this invasion. So we are very happy that we could be part of the consortium and contribute to the wonderful project implementation and the results, the amazing results that are now presented today. So the capacity building videos that we helped developing and publishing. So we had 6 videos. We tried to find good speakers for each of them. For visibility and archiving, we invited a Berlin-based NGO that amplifies Ukrainian voices and subjectivity in Europe. For internationalization videos, we invited a representative of the European Commission. For the community outreach, we actually reached to one of the TEH team member to unpack this topic a bit in the training and the video. For diversity and inclusion, we invited a high-ranking expert from Arts Council England, and for the sustainability, both environmental sustainability and the European Bauhaus, the 3 dimensions, we invited architects and urban designers to unpack these topics. We published these 6 capacity building videos on 4 platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and we are happy to report that we have around 10,000 views collectively on those videos. As Trans-Europalis is an international network, we have a very wide outreach. So I'm also happy to share that these videos, alongside many calls that ZMINA has, together with the other different capacity building workshops that were mentioned by my colleagues before. So Trans-Europalis was lucky enough to reach out to its wide network and have an active usage of its outreach, which is around 20,000 visitors on Trans-Europalis webpage yearly. We have a mail outreach of around 9,000 subscribers to our both internal and external newsletters. And we have a collective outreach of 20,000 people in our social media channels, which are Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And of course, while we were sharing all the capacity building videos and all the calls that ZMINA had, we were also counting on each individual member outreach. And just to remind, we have 175 members in Europe and beyond. So we were happy to contribute to ZMINA with this effort. Thanks to our partners such as Culture Action Europe and European Cultural Foundation, various Creative Europe desks, we were happy also to amplify this outreach and to make it even bigger. I think that's it from my side. Thank you very much. And once again, congratulations to all of the successful grantees, and congratulations to the project partners for the wonderful implementation of the program.
I guess it's my turn. Can you hear me?
Yes, well, clear.
Okay. My name is Kateryna Stukalova. I'm a curator of Ukraine House in Denmark, cultural diplomacy organization based in Copenhagen. Our main aim is to promote meaningful collaboration between Denmark and Ukraine, and one of the main activity that we do to implement the same is bringing to Denmark Ukrainian art, literature, music, design, etc., of the highest professional standard. So being one of the few European or even probably global Ukrainian cultural diplomacy organizations that have a very beautiful and well-equipped space that is open to public 6 days a week from 12 to 6. We thought that our collaboration with Mystecki Arsenal, flagship Ukrainian cultural institution, to bring the exhibition Heart of Us will be a perfect match for this IZOLYATSIA program, and we are very happy that they decided likewise. Next slide, please. To bring the exhibition Heart of Us was our long dream, because this is not only a project that showcases very high professional and artistic standards, but also an example where Ukrainian artists were able to talk about some topics that is very relevant, and it resonates very much globally. So this is something that people outside Ukraine can really relate to. This is a toll of war on Ukraine's ecology, on the global food security. And we thought that it's very important to bring projects like this. And also this topic that was wide enough and relevant enough helped us to turn this not only to the exhibition, but to a real platform for multidisciplinary projects and discussions, where we could talk about many issues and engage a lot of audiences that before that were beyond our reach. Next slide, please. So you can see that from some numbers, you can see that the exhibition, it's a big exhibition that was running for 3 months, and it attracted, the exhibition only attracted more than 2,000 visitors, not counting the visitors to other events. We also were able to have a lot of guided tours, and like we tried to talk with very different audiences, from Danish students to like Ukrainian kids to Danish politicians or international politicians or experts. Going back to my like statement that we turned it into a real platform, was that we held 3 panel discussions, 3 master classes, 3 screenings, 1 concert. So amount of the activities was very diverse. The topic of rebuilding was also very important in this context, because this was a very good place to talk about rebuilding of Ukrainian agriculture, about demining efforts that Denmark is very helpful with already, but we really hope to talk about this about how Denmark can scale up this effort. So the discussions were very fruitful. They brought together Ukrainian and Danish and international experts, and a lot of people from the audience were from the industry, so it really felt that all the information that experts provided falls into the right ears. Talking about results for us as an organization, it was one of the most successful projects in regard of how many new partners for us it attracted, how it fostered our communication and collaboration with many of the previous partners, and they range from like municipal level to like small NGOs, and we also attracted a lot of new volunteers. People were really interested to participate in our events after visiting Heart of Earth events. And again, I want to mention that we were able to reach the audiences that normally don't want to like talk too much on these political issues, like UNDP, for example, or Copenhagen University. It was we need to go like beyond the our space. We need to go to them and organize some of the events on their territory. That's why we could not put it in our papers when we were reporting on the project. But the importance of this is is very big, and this still has some impact on our activity and on our network. So I want to say thank you to IZOLYATSIA, to ZMINA, and also to every manager, every person involved for their help and perfect communication. Thank you.
And if you don't mind, I will continue our presentation with cultural diplomacy and about cultural diplomacy. But actually, when we start working with this topic, we realized that there is no single approach to cultural diplomacy, and that's why for this program we decided to use Mark Leonard's approach, and so I placed one of the most important, maybe his quote to this slide, so you can read if you are interested in. In fact, we see cultural diplomacy is like a complex activity that includes both qualitative and quantitative elements. Especially, I would like to emphasize
our qualitative indicators that we used to analyze cultural diplomacy events and just to define is this event a cultural diplomacy or not. So among these indicators, I can list especially relationship building. It means that it was very important how strong and lasting the connections were between cultural groups. Also, mutual understanding, how well participants understand each other's cultures. Program impact, what wider effects the events have or could have, and stakeholder engagement, who takes part and how deeply it was. And also, of course, we use some quantitative indicators, especially the number of cultural events, the number of people attending these events, and the number of stakeholders. And if we talk about calls, international calls, because we had these cultural diplomacy events only within international calls, I think we can proceed to the next slide. Yeah, thank you so much. We can see the very interesting statistics here. And if we talk about the number of events, for both international calls, we had in total 83 events. Yeah. Especially among these events, we had 30 high visibility events for the first international call and 26 for the second international call. And it was almost half of all events that were conducted within these waves. Yeah. About countries, maybe you remember because my colleague Anastasiia, she has already mentioned different countries we had for realization, the events and the projects, but I can add maybe a little bit. We have 20 countries, unique countries for both events, and Creative Europe countries. For example, Malta, Poland, Italy and France, Finland, Denmark, Georgia. So I think that it shows very broad outreach of our projects for both international waves. And also we have, of course, Ukraine as a host, and it was really very important as well. Talking about audience and stakeholder statistics, we have 209 was the first international call and 371 was the second. Also, we have a significant number of attendees, especially more than 4,000 for the first international call and more than 10,000 for the second. And these events, cultural diplomacy events conducted within two waves, they were focused mainly on reconstruction topics. It was like the main topic of this program. And we had different types of events, smaller scale, more high visibility, more broad scale, so it was very diverse. And talking about overall impact, I think that it was really a very huge achievement of this of all cultural diplomacy events, because all events were focused on connecting Ukraine and Europe, on presenting the image of Ukraine in Europe, maybe to make European audience more familiar with Ukrainian culture and art. It is really significant now. And also, the first international call were focused on large public events like theater tours and exhibitions. And the second call was focused more on visibility and added some more event types like music labs or biennale. So it was really interesting ways how to present Ukrainian culture. And Finishing my speech, I would like to add that both schools use its soft power. It is like the main power for cultural diplomacy through art, culture, performance, and dialogue between cultures to build cultural bridges and support Ukraine's voice in Europe and present present Ukrainian culture for broader audience in Europe. So I think that we should thank to these programs, ZMINA Rebuilding Program and donors to have this chance to realize all these incredible events. Thank you. I think I can pass the floor to Julia. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I hope you hear me well.
Very well.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. So, hi everyone. I'm glad to be here with you today. My name is Yulia Holyuk, and I work as communication specialist at MetaLab. Our NGO runs two big projects, Polha Research and Product Design Center and Kohati, charity project of creating homes for IDPs who lost it because of Russian armed aggression. Thanks to ZMINA Rebuilding Program support, we collaborated with Tbilisi Architecture Biennial in autumn 2024 and represented Ukraine at the exhibition and symposium events. Key topic of this year biennial was correct mistakes that reflected a desire to restore more sustainable and healthy way of relationship with nature and finding approaches that stop draining natural resources and instead give us a real chance to return to circular regenerative economy. Biennial projects were widely represented in local and international media, on television and online. During the event, there were different lectures, cinema, public discussions, and excursions attended by thousands of people. While the biennial focused mainly on examples in Sakartvelo and policies behind them, it also opened space for shared contexts and discussions, especially between Sakartvelo and Ukraine. That's what inspired the project MetaLab presented. Next slide, please. We brought in our experience working with sustainable materials at the lab that is a part of our Polha. In this laboratory, we experiment with ways to reuse materials or develop new biomaterials that could replace traditional construction supplies, which are often environmentally harmful. And one of these experimental technologies is Roman concrete. Its main idea is to take debris from buildings destroyed because of Russian shellings or another ways of aggression and turn it into a new construction material that could be used for future recovery. And Roman concrete doesn't require firing like cement, which makes it more energy efficient. Its base is basically only 4 elements: sand, porcelain, water, ideally salty, and quicklime. Then we add crushed remains of bricks or rubble to reduce waste and give it new life. So the result is long-lasting, self-healing material that doesn't need coatings and much better for the ecology. So we came to Sakartvelo to present this material and invite local people into the dialogue between our countries. We brought Ukrainian samples of Roman concrete blocks that we created and made a new sample using local materials during the biennale. Our message was simple but powerful. Both Ukraine and Sakartvelo carry the trauma of long-term occupation and restricted access to large parts of our land. Next slide, please. And in both places, those lands are being exploited without any care or sustainability by occupying forces. So we refer to the shared need for Ukraine and Sakartvelo to rethink how we rebuild and re-inhabit damaged spaces in future. It's also a call for deeper solidarity in these challenging times and more exchange of knowledge between our countries. This kind of collaboration can strengthen our practices and help us resist the authoritarian regimes. Beyond the installation, we also had public talks curated by Meta-C2 about the weaponization of Ukrainian land. In the end, personally, what struck me most during this project was how many amazing architects, urbanists, and scientists from Sakartvelo are working on issues that are deeply relevant for Ukraine now. So the most valuable part of this collaboration was new people were met and continue exchange knowledge and experiences with. So thank you for your support. This project was really important for our team and for me personally. It was great to tell you more about it.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Petra Adamkova. I work at Malý Berlín, which is one of the partners of the ZMINA rebuilding project. And our part was mainly about preparing disseminational materials for the projects that were granted the money. And so Malý Berlín has prepared and written 42 articles, 40 articles about 42 projects. And I want to say that 2 projects had their national and international variants in the waves. So for those, only single articles were written, pointing out the differences between the national and international projects. And we really enjoyed this opportunity to talk to these various people because and to present these projects in this way of articles, because it gives us opportunity to go a little bit deeper and to present the projects in a very natural way in a form of human interest stories, if you want to put it in a label. So I would like to say that some of the articles, and you can all find them in the IZOLYATSIA website, as you can see on the slide. Some of them were traditional Q&A interviews, and some of them were in the form of long-read articles, in which we try to show a more complex view of the projects and a more varied perspectives on them. So we selected, based on the project parameters and their impact, several projects from the international waves, for which we approached and talked to more partners to achieve this effect. And I would like to also introduce the authors of the articles. Most of them are directly from Malý Berlín, which is actually a cultural center, which I didn't mention previously. But many of us have a background in art critique or media work. So first one I would like to introduce is Anna Siedik. She's a colleague from Ukraine, actually, who studied in Slovakia. And she was really great because she could approach the national projects in their natural language and created really great materials. She is working on a literary program in our cultural center and is also a translator and a poet. Another one of my colleagues, he's called Jan Janočko. He has experience from various media outlets, from TV, radio to newspapers. I was the final one from Malý Berlín. I have a background as a text editor and a deputy chief in a magazine. And I also am working as an art director and a marketing director in Malý Berlín right now. And I supervised the writing process. So actually, I only worked on just one project for the article. We also had 2 other writers, which were outside our staff. And the first one is Maria Akhromeyeva. She's also a Ukrainian author who is living in Czech Republic right now. She studied English language and journalism in Kharkiv and economics in Czech Republic. And the final one is Maria Beňačková-Ryšková, who is a former director of Slovak Design Center, who has a background in art theory and art history and is a curator of a contemporary art. And I know that you all can find the articles online, and there are a lot of them. But I would like to point out some ideas or some things that stick with me after finishing them. And I really hope that you all have time to check them out, or at least a few of them, because the articles are a really great resource because they show how varied the Ukrainian experiences are right now. And they also many times they show how simple acts of kindness and caring can go a really long way for all those involved in the projects, for those who created and executed the projects, and also for those who attended them actively or as an audience. They also show, mainly the national projects show that some social groups in Ukraine are sometimes overlooked in this time of war. And I would like to say that this is true for young people, because they are not usually they are not in harm's way, but they feel lost in this situation, and they will also want to participate in forming their own future. And there are several very great projects focusing on them. Later, I would like to say that there are many ecologically themed projects in international waves, focusing on what's going on in Ukraine. And I think that even though it's a very unique experience, I think that European countries should not overlook the other ways of what is going on, what is being destroyed in Ukraine other than human lives, because we can learn a lot from their experiences. When talking about the international projects, I think it is important to say that showcasing Ukrainian art and culture and their struggle with war in their everyday lives really helps prevent war fatigue in the audiences from European countries. And also it promotes empathy among them. Many projects and project coordinators spoke about this aspect of those projects. And lastly, I would like to point out that many Ukrainian organizations, not just those in the ZMINA rebuilding projects, but I think there are many more, have developed a very deep and sensitive approaches and know-how on art therapy and dealing with trauma in all aspects of life. And I think we can all, in European countries, we can all learn from them and their experiences. So that would be all from me. I hope you will find some time to read those articles. I think they are really great, and the stories of people are really touching. So as I said, they are available in IZOLYATSIA's website. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I think that then on the chat, I received the message that I will represent our project. So will you show our presentation or I have to do it?
Yes, of course, just 1 minute.
Okay.
But you can, yes, introduce yourself and start.
Okay, I'm Olha from the National Academy of Arts, and also I represent NGO Center of Social Innovation, and we have a unique and very exclusive collaboration with the Split Croatian Matera Hub, and we have a project named Craft as a Form of Resilience, which forecasted different kinds of activities. First of all, it was open call for displaced Ukrainian creators, and the upskilling program was conducted in Helena, in the center of the carpet making, very famous one. And during 21 days, Ukrainian creators, internally displaced person, has possibility to develop their skills and create their art craft work. we planned 15 persons, but really they were 29. So really the interest to the project was very high. During this program, we developed some trainings from the professionals, and every day it was the exchange of experience, and the 6 best craft makers were received possibility to represent this craft in the Matera. Also, and you can see here, maybe the first I'll describe. Also, it was a very good developed upskilling capacity building scheme. Also in Helena, we have some trainings. Also Split Croatia and our partners conducted online trainings, which helped to develop the marketing and other skills for our creators. So they received really very unique experience. And in Helena was one reconstruction event. It was final show. During this show was shown the results of the upskilling program, and also it was the fair of crafts, which visited also other craft makers and a big number of people. Many of them weren't registered because it was open air, and this show really was very interesting. Also, we had the activities in Split Croatia. It was a residence of artist Olha. She conducted in Croatia several master classes, and also our Croatian partners conducted for all participants of the project the trainings, and also they support other internal displaced person creators who visited in the future Matera hubs. They choose them and invite them to the online mentoring and trainings. You can change the slide. Oh, no, I can change the slide. Okay, you can see some photos from Hungarian events and the crafts which was made there. So also which was very important that we involve the ethnic minorities. Also we have the craft creators from the Crimean Tatarian one. And from the educational system. Really, it was very interesting for very spread wide audience. Next one, please. And also it's about the Croatia's activities. You can see Olha and one of the masterclass she conducted for the kids. And the next one. Next. Yes, and the last event was in Matera. There were several events during more than a week. It was the exhibition of the craft created within the project. It was almost 30 artists. Also from Ukraine, we planned just 6 persons to come, but really came 22 persons, and some from the Europe with their own stand. So it confirmed that the project was very interesting for the people. Also, it was the discussion panel about the craft possibility and the potential for the resilience in the modern society. What also was very important is, except the very big number of people who visited these events, a big number of the craft makers who participated, many of them also start their businesses. So I can show you also the handkerchief that was created there by our craft makers. And we involved the local authority, for example, in Helena, a very big number of external stakeholders as a national association of the artists. Also, it was the universities, etc. So really, this project create new collaborations. So the result also of this collaboration was several projects which were developed between the participants who didn't know each other previously, and also support the Ukrainian craft in the European environment, and represent really very high level and different kind of crafts from Ukrainian craftsmakers in the Europe. So really, it's very, very spiritual, I can say, even a project. And thanks a lot for support this project, because it really has real results and real support for internally displaced craft makers, and collaboration, and creating really the net of their partners. Yeah, really partners from different areas from Ukraine and from Europe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. During the time of implementation of the program, we have also built a number of databases, collected various information that can be useful for our work in the future, but also can be useful for other organizations who are looking for partnerships and co-creation together with counterparts in Ukraine. So when ZMINA Rebuilding started, we did a mapping of organizations that are working in Ukraine. It's just a snapshot of situation in Ukrainian cultural and creative sector in the beginning of 2023, let's say. But you can find around 230 applications, different organizations from all around Ukraine, and you can easily filter them according to different locations, to the different cultural activities that they're doing. And it's a really good instrument to find partners and organizations in Ukraine that anyone can use, looking for new partners, for new applications, for new projects that is possible to use. And next slide, please. And then, of course, we have project database. And this is the main database that includes all the information about all the project that ZMINA Rebuilding supported. Data is separated into different categories, so you can easily find projects by their locality, by the type of cooperation that had been done, and also by the cultural activities that had been implemented in the project, the research that you can use to find different projects or organizations easily. And each profile of the project includes all the information about where the project was implemented, who are the organizations that had implemented, links to information about the website with the project, and also with the long reads that Malý Berlín presented before. It's possible to export the profiles and save them as PDFs that you can also use them offline if you need. And it's also a really nice tool in general to have some references about supported projects, but also to identify some capable organizations that could be potential partners in the future work. So there are three main data sources about the project database, mapping of Ukrainian organizations, and the long reads that you can use to find out more about the project that were supported by ZMINA. And the next slide. And yeah, and we actually made it in 1.5 hours as expected. I'm really happy and I'm really thankful for all the speakers today that you made it on time, and we made it quick, but I hopefully really interesting. I'm really thankful for all the partners who supported the project. First of all, to European Commission that made the special call to support Ukrainian creative and cultural sector, and also to support displaced people. that has never done before, and I think this was really successful and useful, and we are really looking for more opportunities to continue with this work. I also want to thank Creative Europe desks who did a great job supporting dissemination about our calls and information, and also supporting building partnership with partners from other countries. We also want to thank our other partners who help to implement this project or to spread the word about our calls or events. It's a Danish Cultural Institute, European Creative Hubs Network, European Network for Cultural Centers, European Cultural Foundation, On the Move, Reset, Goethe Institute, and also our sister projects, Culture Helps and You Hear It. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for your kind words in chat. And we hope to see you in next programs that ZMINA will do. And have a nice and safe day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.